David and I first spoke, he mentioned that he had this idea to make a film about the final months of Elton's touring career. Elton having made this decision to give up what I call the last great addiction of his life, which was touring. I mean, he had been on the road since he was 16, 17 years old, 60 plus years that he had been touring. But he, as he says in one of the very first scenes in the film, you know, he recognizes that life is finite and he has choices to make, and the choice he wishes to make is to spend as much of his remaining life with his sons, with his husband, with his friends, and to prioritize that. And I thought, you know, that's a great idea, but I had always thought, I mean, for years, if you had asked me what my short list of fantasy film projects is, there was really only one, and it was Elton, the first 5 years of Elton John's career. And so when David mentioned this, I said to him, you know, there's this other monumental decision that he made, which is the decision to come out, and it comes at the end of this incredible period of, you know, think about it, 13 albums in 5 years, 7 of which go to #1. One of the other albums is 11/17/70, likely the best live record ever. And if you haven't heard it, get it. It's crazy. It's basically the Troubadour show 3 months later at WNEW in New York in front of 200 people. And more or less every song you ever think of as an Elton John song was written during this 5-year period. What an incredible output. And he does it at a time when the Beatles have broken up, the Stones aren't performing, they're not touring, you know, Jimmy's dead, Janis is dead. Like, where is rock and roll going? Nobody knows. And along comes Elton John and answers the question, and answers it in a way you could not turn on. When you bought a Crocodile Rock, you couldn't turn on the radio. You didn't need to buy it, because when you turned on the radio, you'd hear it every 15 minutes. He was, and as I said, and then he released Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, and then Pinball Wizard was an enormous, you know, he permeated the culture in a way that we can't really recognize anymore, because, but he was deeply unhappy, and he was lonely. Well, we've just seen the film, so. And he made this other incredibly consequential choice, and my pitch to David was the spine of the film, it would be those final 3 months, and the nervous system wrapped around the spine would be those first 5 years. And in our very first conversation, I mean, this is how we knew that or this is how I think we guessed that we would be able to collaborate so successfully, is that this idea formed in our very first conversation.
Well, you